Hi, I'm Arlene Dendayan, a former board member on Bikot Halim for 30 years. I would like to share some interesting insights and lessons I've learned over the years through training and through experience about visiting in the hospital. Being in the hospital is a very dehumanizing experience because there's a certain loss of freedom and a certain loss of the ability to make decisions that make us human. Very often people will tell me that when they're in the hospital, they become a stomach or a heart or an arm or a leg or whatever part it is that's being treated, and they're not looked at as a whole human being. That, coupled with the inability to even decide what you're going to eat and when you're going to eat, takes away a certain amount of humanity. And when we go to visit, it's very important. One of the goals should be not only to visit, but to restore some of that. So there are certain rules that might be helpful. The first, when I go to make a visit in a hospital, the first thing I do is knock on the door before entering. I say my name, I pop my head in if it's possible. It depends on how the room is, where the bed is situated. But if I can, without intruding on the personal space of the patient, I pop my head. If not, I'll knock on the door and say, "Hi, my name is Marlene Bendayan. I'm from Sephardic Bikot Halim. Would you like a visit?" And that's giving them the option of maybe they're not in the mood for a visit. Maybe they don't want to see someone. And when you just walk in and invade their space, it's not a good feeling. It's demeaning for them, and it's just another invasion that they have no control over. And you don't want to do that. So you knock on the door and you ask, "Hi, my name is so and so. May I please? Are you in the mood for a visit?" If they answer in the affirmative, draw closer to their bed and smile. And if you can, if there's a chair nearby, try to sit down so that you're at eye level with them. You don't want to stand over someone because they feel that, and again, it's something very subtle, but they might feel that you're on top of them, so to speak, like the doctors and the nurses. So it's important to try to reach eye level. If there are other members of the, first, and also, if there's a doctor or a nurse in the room, just don't go in, leave. Just leave. Don't even knock on the door. Just come back later. If there are family members in the room, smile, and they agree that they want to visit you, smile, you say hello to them, and you introduce yourself. It's not a good idea to ask, who is this? Is this an uncle? Is it? People have very complicated family situations, and it's kind of intrusive. Oh, you're the uncle, oh, you're the aunt, or the grandmother. Don't do that. It's just nice to say hello to everyone. If you see, now, how do you start a conversation? So you look around, and let's say you see a picture of a baby or a child, or someone made a picture or drawing. You don't ask who made this, because they might not have children. It might be a niece or a nephew. You don't know the family situation. So what I do in a case like this, if I see a picture of a child, I say, "Oh, what an adorable child." Let them volunteer who it is. "Oh, wow, what a beautiful picture. Somebody must love you very much." One time this happened to me, and that's why I'm sharing with you. I went into a room to visit someone, and she had a whole bunch of children's pictures and babies. I said, "Oh, these must be your grandchildren." So she said, "Actually, I have no children. These are my nieces and nephews." And I felt so bad that I said that. And I had good intentions, but it wasn't a smart thing to say at the time. And ask after 5 or 10 minutes, ask, "Would you like for me to leave? Do you want to rest now?" Say, do you want to rest now? Give them an opening, as much freedom as possible. Before you leave, say, "Can I get you anything? Is there anything that you would like?" And if, let's say they say, "Yes, a glass of water," you make sure to ask the nurse first, or maybe they'll tell you a sucking candy. It happened to me, somebody asked me for a sucking candy, and afterwards I found out that they were diabetic, and I should not have given it to them. So ask the nurse or doctor on staff first before you give anyone anything. And then leave them your number. We usually have cards where we leave the number if they want to call us or if the family wants to call us, and wish them well and ask them if they, to call you if they need anything. And also, if you remember, when you leave the office, pray for them, because an essential part of Bikot Halim is to pray for the person. You never know when those prayers are going to be heard or answered. So to pray for the person. And that's basically it, to respect their space, try to be as non-intrusive or invasive as possible, smile a lot. Also, if you see they're interested in what's going on outside, remember they're locked up in that hospital room. So if you don't want, it's very funny because you don't want to say too much about, oh, the weather is gorgeous and they're in the hospital bed. But on the other hand, you don't want to isolate them. So you could talk about the news. I learned from one time I went to visit someone, and Mickey Carey was there, and he had a little newspaper with him. He brought the newspaper, and he was talking about the different articles that he thought the person might find interesting. Another time I made a visit, and may he rest in peace, Izzy Husney was there. And he had a whole roster of jokes that he was telling to people and trying to entertain them. So that's basically, and also you have to use your sense. If you see, you have to also be observant. If you see that a person is tired and they don't want to be rude to you, you excuse yourself and say, I see you want to rest now. I'll leave you. If you need anything, please call me. And that's basically it.